staying positive, and, just trying to figure out ways we can be better. What units work well for us on the floor, how we can be more productive, how someone can pick someone up when they're struggling.
Trouble's brewing in Cleveland, Ohio this season as LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers may miss out on a fourth straight trip to the finals. In the 2017 offseason, the Cavs parted with 24-year-old point guard Kyrie Irving, trading to get Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder in return. Given Isaiah's offensive talent and Jay's knack for being a scrappy defender and a solid three-point shooter, everyone's impression seemed to be that this team would make it back to the finals with maybe even a chance to win it all. Coupled with the greatness of LeBron, the guys behind him were deemed solid enough to back him up. To many, the Cavs were basically already in the finals, again. Fast forward to February of 2018, and the script has been flipped entirely. Ranking 28th in defense in the league, allowing a whopping 109.9 points per 100 possessions, the narrative surrounding the Cavs shifted into one of panic, as typically teams outside of the top 15 in league defense, and that's being generous, are not contenders in the slightest. The one thing this team has that others don't have, though, is LeBron freaking James. Now, the book has pretty much been written on LeBron. The man is a 15-time All-Star, a 3-time NBA champ, a 4-time MVP, 1-time scoring champion, has been to the finals 7 straight times, and I'm almost out of breath. Recognized pretty much everywhere as the best player in the game today, the narrative suggests that of anyone, LeBron is the guy who can do the best job of plugging up the most holes in a sinking ship, as he has done so many times throughout his storied career. I'm sure that all of you have at some point heard the words LeBron and carried in the same sentence, or even LeBron needs help. Because he provides so much in the way of what is immediately noticeable, such as dunks, blocks, assists, and everything in between, the narrative always seems to face outward. What can other guys do better? Lucky for you guys, I'm here to say screw the narrative. Basketball is a team sport that requires the efforts of the first option to the guy on the end of the bench if you want to win. That's what makes the Warriors and Spurs so good. Their depth is a testament to everyone getting reps in the offense. Regardless of whether you simply compete in practice or your job is to score 30 points a night, each player has a role in making everyone else better. So when I see LeBron play, I get a little confused. I do see someone with endless amounts of talent doing practically whatever they want when I watch him play, but I also see some things that are not so great. I see a guy who is only committed to himself and his own legacy, opting to take little responsibility for other struggles or failures. This affinity for ducking responsibility came to its most prominent point on February 8th, when we saw the Cavaliers trade away 6 of their key players in hopes that added youth and shooting would right the ship. And while I do think the Cavs are better after this trade, I don't think the ship will be righted, and here's why. For this video, I decided to isolate the Cavaliers at Magic Game on February 6th and really keep an eye on LeBron and observe how he affected the game. He had another great night in terms of standard box score, posting 25 points on 10 of 17 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block in 33 minutes. In terms of his play style, he was just short of terrible, and let's take a look at why. First of all, in breaking down this game, I kept tally of the number of times LeBron either isolated, ran a pick and roll, or just blew up the play drawn up by Coach Tyronn Lue. I counted 10 ISOs, 8 pick and rolls, and 4 blown up plays. On this first play, we see LeBron run the offense as he dribble pitches to J.R. Smith and receives an Iverson cut to the weak side. J.R. Smith gives it back to LeBron, who fakes a drive and reverses it to J.R., who received a cross screen from Tristan up top. Great play that required 4 out of 5 players to do a job. A sense of rhythm and engagement is born out of plays like this. The problem is, they are few and far between. Here the Cavs get right into their set as Isaiah Thomas dribble pitches to J.R. Smith as LeBron receives a pin down on the weak side from Tristan Thompson. This flows into a step-up screen, which Tristan slips as the real look is to get a cross screen at the top for JR. Instead of even looking at this option, which was open, LeBron keeps his head down and isolates on the right wing. Good result, but hardly the right play. Here, instead of running the offense and getting a look for his teammate in the flow of the game, which can do someone's confidence wonders down the stretch of a season, LeBron opts to get his. Right after this possession, the the Magic come up the floor with a variation of the Spain pick and roll, as Jonathan Simmons comes out of the corner to set a screen on Biyombo's man before Biyombo rolls to the basket. Recognizing this, Jay Crowder comes to tag him from the weak side, a common action in NBA defenses. Interestingly enough, pay attention to what LeBron does. The second part of this action is LeBron supposed to zone up on the weak side, dropping lower to cover two men as Jay tags. However, he does not do this, and Fournier gets his easiest bucket of the season. In this clip, it seems the Cavs just wanted a high pick and roll with Isaiah and Tristan, but just as he gets to the second hash mark, Isaiah realizes he has nothing and kicks it to LeBron. You can't really knock LeBron directly for how this play turned out, given the action they want to die prematurely, but that being said, the Cavs system caters to how LeBron likes to play, and he is largely responsible for why things are so stagnant. All in all, good play by LeBron. Here, Isaiah gets an inside ball screen so he can go to work, but again gets nothing, and LeBron has to bail them out with yet another tough shot. Seriously, check out my previous video for a deeper look into why Isaiah is struggling so badly this year. As we fast forward to the second quarter, we open up with another LeBron ISO as he scratches the high horns play and decides to go at his man, ultimately turning the ball over. Instead of running back, he gets in the ref's face. Another stagnant play in the books. Just to also point out the things he does well, so you guys don't grill me, here's a good play by OBJ as he makes the quick decision to use all that size, speed, and quickness to attack his man and get an easy two. Plays like this aren't bad because they're quick reads. On a quick move like this, the rhythm of the game isn't disrupted. Here he does it again. Nothing an NBA defense can do about that. This pick and roll is especially interesting to me because of what he elects not to do with it. In a game where he has been driving to the rim at will, LeBron opts not to attack off the step-up screen from Tristan and instead plays with the ball. First, just notice his lackadaisical body language. Then, consider the fact that he doesn't attack after the pick is set, which would create a potential drive and kick situation, and just decides to have the shot for himself. No one benefits from standing around waiting for him to make a play. These are the plays that really concern me, because I would think that someone who is committed to building up the confidence of his teammates wouldn't have an issue with running the plays Coach Lue has drawn up for, well, other players. Instead, I counted 4 plays LeBron simply opted not to run. Stuff like this not only doesn't empower anybody, but it also can ruin the moods of the guys around you, who may feel LeBron is not committed to their or the team's success. In a play I'm not too certain of what it was, watch LeBron try to set a back screen for Isaiah when it clearly was not the play. Just look at his thumb telling Isaiah to divert from what clearly has been drawn up. Here, Jay Crowder zipper cuts to the top of the key to receive a pass from Isaiah, who continues his momentum from dribbling the ball up the floor to loop around to the weak side. After the handoff from Crowder, Isaiah is due to receive a down screen from LeBron so he can receive the pass from JR. But look at what LeBron does instead. He doesn't set a screen at all and just goes to the weak side. Fortunately, the Cavs got something out of this play, but LeBron's decision was beyond poor. On the next blown up play, the Cavs run a variation of high horns with Isaiah on the strong side elbow and JR on the weak elbow. This play is supposed to progress into a flare screen for Isaiah, who I think would then receive a step-up screen from Tristan, who is in the corner. But LeBron keeps his head down and ignores the progression, opting to isolate instead. I mean, I know I said Isaiah would continue to struggle, but this doesn't help either. Here the Cavs run a relatively simple horn set to get JR a stagger screen out of the weak side corner after an entry pass to LeBron at the elbow. LeBron doesn't wait for JR to get open and instead drives across the lane into traffic for an unnecessarily difficult right-handed floater falling to his left. This is not leadership. Last one. On this ball reversal to get a look for Korver off a pin down, LeBron just takes it to the rim for a much tougher shot. Right after that play, LeBron went to the bench and the Cavs ran the same play properly. Here, I just wanted to point out his tendency to stand around when he doesn't have the ball. The thing about LeBron is he has worked his game into the position where he must be respected in all areas of the game. So when he just stands 3 feet behind the three-point line when the ball isn't in his hands, his gravity has literally no effect on the possession. Look here as he just stands back while JR is looking to make a play after the steal. So, going into the fourth quarter, LeBron had 24 points, and he left with 25. In this quarter, he went 0 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3 with 2 turnovers, and was minus 16 for the quarter alone. Yikes. The worst on the team, too. He looked gassed in a game where he made it known he wanted to do things by himself, and as a result, the Cavs blew their lead and lost instead by 18. I'm just going to let these plays run and let you guys see for yourselves. With captions, of course. So I just showed you guys this video and broke down his contributions to the game to introduce this, what I like to call the LeBron James paradox. How is the narrative surrounding him he doesn't have help when he doesn't seek to help himself? Making plays for others, running offense for other options, and so on contributes to their sense of self-worth and engagement with the team. When you have someone, even as great as LeBron is, who displays a clear interest in his own success and no one else's, you get situations like the Cavs had this last year. My prediction is that this gargantuan overhaul they just made doesn't really make too much of a difference unless LeBron changes up the way he operates. Thanks guys for watching. If you like what you saw, leave a like and subscribe below. I'll have a video for you next week and it'll be more positive, I promise. Peace.